A breaking news alert to tell you about. There has been a verdict in the Travis Reinking Waffle House murder case. He's facing 16 counts of murder. Let's take you to the courtroom of Judge Mark Fishburne, see if the verdict is being read at this point. The jury was gathering back in the courtroom. The judge, the plaintiffs, everyone was getting inside. You can see them inside the courtroom now, standing as the judge. Judge Mark Fishburne comes into the courtroom. There you see D.A. Glenn Funk and the other attorneys for the prosecution and the defense. You see Travis Reinking standing in the center of the screen there. Again, the verdict was read, or going to be read, has just announced that they do have a verdict. There are 16 counts. We'll wait to see if the verdict is the same on all of those counts.
Now, there were 4 people murdered in the Waffle House shooting in April of 2018. Tarian Sanderlin, Joe Perez, D'Ebony Groves, and Aquila De Silva. 2 other people were wounded severely, Shanita Wagner and Sharita Henderson. Many of those people testified in this case. Their families were in the courtroom. They stayed there for the entire trial, watching some really difficult videos of Travis Reinking. There were also videos of that Waffle House shooting that showed exactly what happened that night as the gunman was taken down by someone.
It should be noted, too, Travis Reinking pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. His mental health state has been a central focus of this trial and testimony we've heard throughout the week regarding schizophrenia diagnosis, whether that played a part in this shooting, whether it didn't play a part. That's part of what the jury was going to decide. The shooting happened 4 years ago, and the trial just began last week. Travis Reinking has been in custody since then, facing those, as we said, 16 counts, including first-degree murder charges. He has chosen not to testify in his own defense. He has told the judge that he would not do that. He had that opportunity, but decided against doing that.
And as you've been following these proceedings, you see Travis Reinking here. You've noticed that his expression has not changed much throughout the trial. As we mentioned, a lot of tough videos of things that he did, things he taped at his house, drawings he made. But as he sat there in the courtroom, his expression did remain similar to what we're looking at here as we wait for the verdict. And as Bob mentioned, 16 counts. Those do include first-degree premeditated murder, attempted first-degree premeditated murder, and first-degree felony murder.
That the jury has reached a verdict in this case?
Yeah.
Has the jury reached a verdict as to each of the 16 counts?
Yes.
And was each of those 16 counts a unanimous verdict?
Yes.
And did you memorialize each of those verdicts by filling out the verdict form that was provided?
Yes.
And did you sign each of the individual verdicts as the foreperson for the jury?
I did.
All right, in that case, Madam Foreperson, if you would please stand. Mr. Reinking, if you would please stand. If you would just read the verdict of the jury.
In the Criminal Court of Davidson County, Tennessee, Division 6, State of Tennessee versus Travis J. Reinking, case number 2019-A-55. Jury verdict form. Count 1. We, the jury, unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder guilty. Count 2. We, the jury, unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder guilty. Count 3, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder guilty. Count 4, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder guilty. We the jury, count 5, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of attempt to commit premeditated first-degree murder with serious bodily injury guilty. Count 6, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of unlawful employment of a firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit a dangerous felony, guilty. Count 7, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of attempt to commit premeditated first-degree murder with serious bodily injury, guilty. Count 8, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of unlawful employment of a firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit a dangerous felony, guilty. Count 9, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of attempt to commit premeditated first-degree murder, guilty. Count 10, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of unlawful employment of a firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit a dangerous felony, guilty. Count 11, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of attempt to commit premeditated first-degree murder, guilty. Count 12, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of unlawful employment of a firearm during the commission of or attempt to commit a dangerous felony, guilty. Count 13, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of first-degree felony murder, guilty. Count 14, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of first-degree felony murder, guilty. Count 15, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of first-degree felony murder, guilty. Count 16, we the jury unanimously find Travis J. Rankin for the offense of first-degree felony murder, guilty.
You may be seated. You may be seated. Is there anything else from the state?
Not at this point.
No, I understand that. Anything from the defense at this point?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, members of the jury, having found Mr. Rankin guilty of 8 counts of first-degree murder, of course, counts 1 and 13 will merge, 2 and 14 will merge, 3 and 15 will merge, and 4 and 16 will merge into one conviction, or for one punishment, let me put it that way. And since you have found him guilty of first-degree murder, we will be required to have a sentencing hearing. We're going to send you back to the hotel tonight. We're going to start the sentencing hearing at 9 o'clock. Okay, give them a few extra minutes to relax tonight. And the rules, overall rules, are a little bit relaxed tonight. You can breathe a little bit deeper and hopefully sit back and relax. And we'll get started at 9 o'clock. Please quit talking about the case at this point in time. We do have another phase. You're going to have a chance to, I'm sure you've talked about it significantly already. I don't even know if you want to talk about it anymore tonight, but don't talk about it anymore tonight. Try and put it out of your head and get refreshed and come back here tomorrow open-minded and ready to listen to the next phase of the trial as it relates to whether or not Mr. Rankin should be sentenced to life with or without parole. And there will be different, it's the same type of procedure, but the evidence and what both sides will be presenting will be somewhat different than what's been going on so far. So just go back and enjoy your evening, relax, and we'll start back up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this way, please.
Judge Mark Fishburne reading the instructions to the jury for the next phase of this, the sentencing phase, as the jury has now found Travis Rankin guilty in all 16 counts. They deliberated for only about 3.5 hours. It did not take them long. They obviously did not agree with the defense in this case of the defense of not guilty by reason of insanity. They convicted him on all the charges, all 16 charges, and the maximum punishment is life in prison without parole. That'll be decided by the jury. That's the next phase, as you heard Judge Fishburne talk about.
And those choices as they meet for that sentencing hearing starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow will be life in prison with or without parole. Let's hear the judge.
Do we charge the law as it now exists for sentencing purposes?
Judge, Mr. Bruno and I saw that, looked at it a little bit. The state's position that the 2018 law would, in essence, be more favorable, and it's required to be whichever law is most favorable.
That's the way I read it, because under the 18 law, it's parole after 25 years.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. No, we're talking about the,
Well, you don't want to weigh the factors.
correct. Actually, under the law now, the jury could impose a sentence of life without parole without finding an aggravating circumstance, and I don't think they would want that.
Right. The old law, you had to find one in an aggravating factor.
But Your Honor, the requirement about how much time, that has been 51 years for many, many years, even though the pattern jury instruction and the statute.
The statute says 25. That's what I was going to ask y'all about. Because it's always been 51.
It's always been 51, and that's been charged, and in the pattern instruction, there's a notation or a footnote that says statute hasn't been amended, however, a court should charge 51, and so I believe that's the appropriate.
Yeah, I agree, but I was going to ask if there was an issue about the statute. I think the law's been clear since the 89 Act was put into effect, but for some reason they put 25 in there. I don't know why. So
The breaking news in the Waffle House murder case, Travis Reinking guilty on all 16 counts, first-degree murder included in those counts. The next phase will be the sentencing phase, which will begin tomorrow.
And as we saw there in the courtroom, many family members were there as the verdict was read. And we are waiting with our reporters who are there at the courthouse. We're hoping that we will be able to hear from some of those family members and bring what they had to say to you.
4 people died in this Waffle House shooting in 2018. It's been 4 years since then, and you saw the families in the courtroom embracing each other. Finally, some finality for these families. We're going to continue our coverage. We will get some, as Haley said, some reaction from both sides in this case when News 2 at 5 continues.